Hey folks, welcome to Rye Guy Plays Games, where I'm not totally sure I'm in frame, I just have to hope that I am. This is your modern, comprehensive guide to buying Heroscape, both classic sets and the new Age of Annihilation releases. Getting a good deal is in my blood, so I'm here to show you how to complete your collection in the most efficient and affordable way possible. Let's get into it. The original Heroscape line ran from 2004 to 2010, so it's been a while since you could pick up a blister pack at stores. On the secondhand market, there's two axes to buying Scape: low cost to high cost, and inconvenience to convenience. I'll be discussing the places to buy Scape with these in mind moving forward. First up on the list, we have all things Heroscape. This is easily the highest we'll get on the cost axis when talking about classic Scape, but they get marks for convenience and for likely having the most complete inventory. Now, I've never bought figures from here due to it being the ceiling for cost, but when I began directing tournaments, I needed some glyphs to fill up my collections for maps. ATH came through and I was able to get a glob of glyphs for a pretty reasonable price, so if you need something really specific to round out your collection, this is the most likely place to have it. Otherwise, it's really tough to recommend them. Next up, we have eBay and also Facebook Marketplace. These are tough to put on the cost axis because it varies pretty wildly depending on what buying method you're using. There are three facets of eBay that I've used to buy Scape: auctions, fixed listings, and lots. An auction can be a great way to get a new unit at a low price, although there can be a lot of competition, so I would recommend setting a limit you're willing to pay for that unit and not bidding above that. What's a good deal to you might look different to someone else. These are also extremely hit or miss. I've maybe gotten 2 deals off of auctions in all of my time looking for classic Scape. You can set notifications for certain searches like units or terrain that you're looking for. It just may take some time, and then you kind of have to hope that the auction flies under the radar. Speaking of auctions, shopgoodwill.com is an auction site that frequently hosts basic Heroscape content on there. This is just one of the community secrets that I'll be giving out, but people in the know have gotten some pretty good deals from here in the past. It's usually very basic terrain like Rise of the Valkyrie stuff, and it's a little more well known now, so it's harder to get a good deal, but it might still be worth your time to look into it. Next is fixed listings. If you search eBay, there's usually a few listings of various prices for any given unit. Sort by price lowest to highest and you might snag a deal. Facebook Marketplace can sometimes have fixed listings like in the buy and sell Heroscape group, but it can be very hit or miss. The last topic is lots. Buying lots is a super cost-effective way to get classic Heroscape. It's just the most inconvenient. In the past, I've used lots to get terrain in bulk and then sell off what I don't need. As a loose example, if I buy a $500 lot that has a Tundra set, 3 road sets, and 3 Rise of the Valkyrie sets, I can probably sell off those 3 master sets and the 3 road sets for around $400. Then it only costs me $100 for the Tundra set, or about half the price of an average eBay listing. The problem is, it's a lot of money up front and it's a lot of effort afterward to sell it, plus you might not be able to sell at the price you want. But if you're just starting out your collection, or maybe if you have some scattered sets and units and you just want to fill out with a variety, then lots are an excellent way to start. I found the better deals to be on Facebook Marketplace rather than eBay, and especially if you can get lucky and buy local. Oh, I forgot to mention Mercari. I assume everyone on there is using Heroscape to pay off their student loans, so just don't bother. Next up is the forums, and this is where the real deals start. Heroscapers.com hosts fans of the game and has a dedicated forum for buying and selling. This is also typically hit or miss, but you're more likely to find people that are willing to trade here, either for units that they don't have or even for other games. This is also where you can find the best seller that we have right now, Joey Carmichael. Joey has built a loyal following both on Facebook and on the forums. He's got the most affordable prices for the extensive inventory he has. He also frequently runs deals and giveaways on the Facebook group and has given away a ton of stuff. I should know, I actually won a Marvel Master Set from him one time, which has been super helpful for setting up tournament maps. I've also ordered from him a ton to help with my terrain needs for setting up Heroscape maps, and he usually sends me a couple extra tiles, which is really sweet. I'll link his thread along with other relevant links for the rest of the video in the description, so be sure to check him out. In that thread, you can find the Excel sheet which has his inventory, and then email him to place an order. In terms of both convenience and price, Joey is unbeatable right now, and I hope he keeps doing this for a while, otherwise this video is going to get outdated really quickly. In a similar fashion, the Heroscapers Discord also has a channel for buying and selling, but it can also be pretty hit or miss. It is a great place to sell Scape if you have excess from buying lots. Those are the best places to find deals for classic Heroscape right now. However, if you're like me and you're not too particular about whether your axe grinders are really official or not, I'll let you in on a little secret. 3D printing, it's not a secret, it is pretty well known. I would be remiss if I didn't mention 3D printing. This is the future of the game. Okay, well I guess the game has a future now. This is the future of the past of the game. If you're looking for convenience and price but aren't too particular about the bevel of the base, this is the way to go. We've got several respected established sellers in the community: Dicebear Prints, Roguescaper, and Trexie 3D. Trexie 3D has pretty low prices but only comes unpainted, so keep that in mind when buying. Dicebear Prints and Roguescaper offer painting and do extremely high quality work and do other creative stuff with their 3D printing as well. I'll let you know now that the price of painting isn't cheap per se. Their time and skill is valuable, and for them the rarity of the units doesn't have any meaning. So while you'll get a huge markdown from your $70 squads of Granite Guardians, you won't get a similar discount for your $12 squads of Morrow Stingers. In fact, you might even pay a little more to get a squad of Morrow Stingers 3D printed and painted. But I would highly recommend all three of them if you want to go that route, or you could get into 3D printing yourself, which is what I did, and it will save you a ton of money in the long run if you need a lot of rare commons. Rare commons? Words truly have no meaning. Just be warned that you will be sinking a ton of time into it yourself, at least until you develop a good workflow. Roguescaper also makes content regarding doing it yourself, so I would recommend checking out their YouTube channel as well. That about covers it. There's a small chance that you might find Heroscapers on another site. I once saw that someone found Heroscape on an estate sale listing site, which is really funny. Just be wary of scammers, they're becoming more and more prevalent. Remember, if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. This is what you're really here for, right? How to get those juicy pirate minis without breaking the bank. Well, Daddy RPG is here to spoon feed you the best deals on all the hot new plastic. So here comes the airplane. Let's get into it. Renegade has plans to open AOA Wave pre-orders every quarter, with the releases timing into those quarters on a 6-month delay. Let's start with Renegade. In terms of convenience, it's all on their storefront and it is available for pre-order. And they have one more notch going for them, which is a Sergeant Alexander Drake mini, available only on the Renegade storefront that comes with any Wave 1 pre-order. Now, this specific mini might be outdated once Wave 1 comes out in a few months, but I have a feeling that they're probably going to do this for exclusive minis in the future, so just take this advice and apply it to those waves. However, I would not recommend buying from them. Their prices are terrible, miles above their value. Anyone telling you otherwise is huffing copium or living in a mansion. Other creators may try to tell you that those prices aren't that bad, but those creators are sponsored by Renegade, which means they get a small percent of anything you spend on the Renegade store when you use their creator link. Now, usually they disclose that, which is good, but I don't trust a critic that can't critique. I'm also sponsored by Renegade, but I really don't like them. How does that work? Stacy, our relationship might not be normal, but it just works. It's just us. Renegade is also not technically doing pre-orders, right? Say it with me, class. If they take your money up front before you get the product, it's not a pre-order, it's a Kickstarter. Next up, we have online retailers like Miniature Market or Game Nerds. This is likely the best deal you'll get on Newscape, although there might be one reason to hold off, and we'll get into that in a second. You can pre-order through these sites instead, and they're selling these products at literally 60% of what Renegade is selling them for. $125 unpainted master set? Nope, it's $87 now. $50 jungle trees? No, I'll take that for 35 bucks, thank you. These are actually pretty reasonable prices for the product, and frankly what the MSRP should have been so that Renegade didn't get so much backlash from the community. These sites are legit and pre-orders will launch once the wave hits. The only drawback is that for sets with miniatures, they only have the unpainted versions available right now. That's not an issue for me, so that's absolutely where I'll be picking up my terrain packs and army expansions moving forward. Except for the lack of painted sets, I can't think of a single reason except one not to buy from these online retailers instead of Renegade, and that's to support your friendly local game stores. My FLGS is incredible and has also bought into the Heroscape launch, which is the Venn diagram of things that you need to make me buy Heroscape from you. Their prices will possibly be cheaper than Renegade, albeit not by much. For bulk terrain and maybe commons in the future, I'll probably stick to online retailers to save money. But for picking up master sets and battle boxes, this is absolutely where I'll go to support my local store. So I'll summarize this all into an actionable guide by giving you my plan. I'm going to buy exactly one thing from Renegade. The unpainted battle box. I thought I might buy painted because it's just so nice to be able to take it out of the box and play with it right away. But I'm sorry, I can't stand these paint jobs. They're not premium. I'm sorry. I can't look at Fiabani. This is my kryptonite. This hurts to look at. I could do a million times better, and I'm not an expert painter by any means. So I will probably be buying the unpainted battle box from Renegade, and that gets me the exclusive Sergeant Drake mini that will be available to purchase later, but why would I do that when I can get it for free now? I'll use my own link, which is in the description and hopefully doesn't cause a singularity again, and then I'll use the code WELCOME10 or WELCOMEBACK10, which will give me another 10% off my order and get me that Sergeant Drake mini for free. This way I don't have to pay for it down the line, likely in a premium markup. Then I'm going to pre-order from Miniature Market since I have an account with them and grab the terrain packs and any common squads or army expansions. After each launch, I'll head to my local game store and pick up any unpainted master sets or unpainted battle boxes that they might have for sale. When the sets arrive, I'll list the excess terrain from the master sets and the battle boxes for sale since I have tubs of well taken care of terrain behind me. This, in my opinion, gets you the absolute best deal possible while supporting your local game store as much as possible and the Shady Corporation as little as possible. You are free to take all this information and make the decision that's right for you, but I think this guide helps map out buying Heroscape in a way that's the most affordable and ethical as possible. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments if this cleared anything up for you or let you snag a good deal. I know it can be a little overwhelming diving into this game head first, so feel free to reach out to me on the forums or on Discord if you have any questions. Now I'm gonna go grab my snorkel because I'm ready to drown in Heroscape.